Hello, I'm Dean Karstens, and this is Dean's N-Scale Trains. Today I'm going to show you how I built this nifty little fruit stand, complete with inside fruit racks, from paper cutouts using the Silhouette Cameo cutting tool. Follow along to see how I did it. Here's the fruit stand as completed. Note that I've added some signs, fresh produce, tomatoes, and inside I put some stands for holding fruit, tomatoes, apples, bananas. I've put a reference to where I bought the paper parts in the description. You can find all sorts of printable card buildings and kits if you Google N-Scale card kits or search on eBay or Etsy. Here's the chapter outline of this video. You can skip the parts you don't want to bother seeing. First, I'll design the model using Silhouette Studio. Then I'll show how to add cut and score lines. I'll cut the parts using a Cameo 4 cutter, Silhouette cutter. Finally, I'll show photos of the final model. Note, I'm not going to show you how I put the model together. It takes too long. That's going to be a separate video later. Next, I'll open up the Silhouette Studio software and bring in a photo of the model. Select that. I need to resize this by 54% because this is for N-Scale. So I look up here, the width is 8.480. Go to my calculator. You see I have this locked, so the aspect ratio will stay the same. So all I have to do is put in 4.579, and that will reduce it by 54%. To work on these various parts, I need to cut them into pieces. So I take the slice tool and I slice carefully through there. Now I can move that away. Let me slice out these two roof pieces. I'll leave those together. I don't need to separate them. I'm going to expand this. If I go to this double arrow thing and hold down my left mouse button, I can expand it. Make sure it goes up high enough. And the same thing over here. Need to go all the way. Now that should be sliced off. Okay, the last thing to do is to get these two pieces sliced. This is going to be a little bit trickier. Come down here. And come over here. Make sure I go far enough. That's separated. This is separated. This one, I want to rotate that. So I hold down the Shift key. And move it approximately the same position. Now I'm going to make this smaller so I can see everything, and there you have it. So I'm going to store this, save as, Gray Shack #1. As I will show you later, I define my cutting lines by red. So I'm going to go to a red rectangle, set this color up as red, set the inner pieces as nothing, And now I will define a rectangle around here. Okay, you see there's a little bit of edge there that's showing. I'm going to make this a little smaller. Let's go to the to here, and then I can edit things. Make that about like that. Okay, now let's go down to the two roof pieces down here. I need to slice these in two, so I'm going to slice them, make sure I cut all the way to this square. Go to the Edit tab. Okay, this is separated. I need to slice these very carefully, so what I want to do is just cut the edge there. Now this piece I'm going to just delete. That was the piece of the background. Do the same thing here. You see it has a lot of background on it. Take the slice tool, hold down the shift key to make it. Okay, I think, oops, I didn't go far enough. And that's a little bit too much. A little bit even more. That's better. Okay, go to the Edit tab. Okay, now we line them up. And I want to, again, outline this with red. And you see I got a little bit too much here, so I'm going to go to the Edit. And I need to draw a line where I want it to score or bend. So for that I always use green for my score lines. So here, hold down the shift key and pull across the score line. Okay. Now into Edit, I want to make this just one piece, so I outline that and I group it. So now this is grouped as one. Let's get rid of a lot of this white, which is just background. Slice, slice, slice. It's a little bit too close. Slice. And now go to the Select Edit button, and we'll get rid of this stuff. With a fair amount of work, I added red cut lines and green score lines. Let me just pull this apart. So you can see what I've done. I just used the multiple line tool and also the the point edit tool to set up my cutting and so on, my cutting lines and my score lines. I added some more pictures, farm fresh tomatoes, fresh produce, grab those on the web. Now let's put this back. And the same thing down here. You can see where I've added the cut lines and the score lines. So let's take a look at what it's going to look like when we send it to the cutter. Hope you can see that. You see the red lines are going to be cut. Let's just make sure, set that on cut. The green lines are going to be scored. I think we're just about ready to go, but I want to take everything here. Let's just group that. Hit Control, down arrow, and now we have two sets. I'm going to save this, and now we're ready to cut. I like to print these out on matte paper. You can use glossy, but it's a little bit reflective. So that's what it looks like. This is the cutting sheet. It has some sticky on it, so it sticks on, the paper sticks onto it. So we want to put it down. As even as possible. This cutting mat is a little bit old, so the sticky is not too good. So I like to put a piece of tape at the top to hold it down. The print and the mat is loaded into the cutter and push send. And there you have it. Perfectly cut and scored. And there you are. Here are some final photos of the model. As I've said, I will make a separate video to show how I put this together and how I made the bins for the vegetables inside. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, Dean's N-Scale Trains. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.